Hello, friends. We now have a short record of the attack by Ukraine's main intelligence directorate's Mosquito drones on Belbek Air Base in Crimea, where they destroyed a naval MiG-29K Fulcrum D fighter bomber, which is a multi-role carrier-based combat aircraft capable of operating in all kinds of weather and described as an advanced fourth-generation aircraft. It is equipped with R-77 air-to-air missiles, anti-ship and anti-radiation missiles, as well as various types of precision-guided weapons for ground attack, which made it a highly valuable target for the defenders. Despite the events in the Sea of Azov, the campaign of medium-range attacks continues. In fact, as demonstrated by the 426th Unmanned Systems Regiment, whose Mosquito drone finds a Ural truck next to a tanker truck, so it proceeds to take out both of them, and I suspect the mechanic as well. This attack was more than 50 kilometers from the front, a place where the crews of both trucks obviously felt safe. Well, not anymore. On the front of strategic attacks, Defense Minister Mikhail Fedorov released a video revealing the details of the operation. Auchan, a campaign of precision strikes that systematically degraded the offensive capabilities of the Horde, forcing the withdrawal of heavy armored vehicles, in addition to significantly reducing the threat of Z artillery in multiple sectors of the front. How was it? Well, its first phase began at the end of 2025 when Mosquito swarms were launched. Guided by intelligence, force intelligence, supported by meticulous planning based on real-time intelligence, they managed to destroy no less than 949 targets of the invaders, including armored vehicles, logistics centers, and support infrastructure in just 3 days. This lightning attack forced the Russian forces to withdraw a considerable amount of heavy equipment from their forward positions, delaying their mechanized assaults for about 6 months, which gave crucial time to strengthen the Ukrainian defenses in the sector. In June 2026, a second phase was carried out, called Art Auchan, this time deploying a new generation of loitering munitions optimized for the destruction of artillery pieces. This wave hit 231 additional targets, including 171 artillery pieces operating on the fronts of Kherson, Zaporilla, Donetsk, and Starobilsk. In total, both phases of the operation managed to neutralize 1,180 enemy targets, reducing enemy activity in the affected areas by between 30 and 81%. The campaign highlighted the fundamental role of specialized units, including the Lazar Group of the National Guard of Ukraine and the 412th Unmanned Systems Brigade, Nemesis, the ones who operated with their Mosquitoes more than 50 kilometers behind the invaders' lines, carrying out devastating attacks against howitzers and vehicles. Operation Auchan represents a new model of combat in which swarms of low-cost, adaptable drones are capable of eliminating significant concentrations of traditional mechanized forces. Focusing first on armored vehicles and logistics, then on artillery, the Ukrainian forces not only disrupted the offensives that Ivan was preparing, but also ruined the operational tempo of Russian troops in several sectors, making things easier for the defenders of the forward Ukrainian positions. An interesting fact is that the code name Auchan is an ironic mockery of the French supermarket chain Auchan in Russia, which still operates 235 stores in that country. I believe that this model of operations will become the standard in the coming months, and I attribute it entirely to the influence of Minister Fedorov in the planning of the armed forces. On the naval front, we return to the Sea of Azov, where on July 9, the armed forces of Ukraine reported having hit 12 more tanker ships from the Russian Shadow Fleet, which were sailing in the Sea of Azov during the night, along with a cargo ship and a tugboat, bringing the total number of invading ships attacked in this offensive to 35. These figures come directly from Commander Robert Magyar Brovdy and the Ukrainian General Staff, and are also supported by the respective videos that confirm the hits. These vessels are not simply merchant ships, but are a vital element for sustaining Russian military operations in southern Ukraine, while also generating billions of dollars in revenue that allow the invaders to maintain their operations. Each tanker can carry approximately 7,000 tons of fuel, so their disruption is a direct blow to Russian logistics, which are already weakened by simultaneous Ukrainian attacks on refineries and land routes. The operation was coordinated by the Deep Strike Center, which is a newly created unit specializing in planning operations, long-range combined attack operations, which in this case involved drones from the 20th K2 Brigade, the 412th Nemesis Brigade, and the 413th Raid Regiment. It's appreciated that the defenders include a reference number, since that really helps to keep a clear count of each impact. The way these ships operate is by loading fuel at ports located on the banks of the Don River, and then sailing to the site of deep attacks, that is, these Mosquitoes. A drone unit from the recently created 20th Nemesis Brigade, the 20th Nemesis Brigade, and the 413th Center are in this. Now they are heading directly towards oil terminals in Crimea, something the defenders simply cannot allow. On the technological front, the Ukrainian company SE, the Fort Law, released a video demonstrating the operation of their heavy attack drones, Lupinis, 10 equipped with the TFL-1 terminal guidance module, which takes over flight control when the aircraft is 500 meters from the target and follows it all the way to impact. In the footage, you can see how the operator initiates the attack sequence, at which point the Mosquito's engine begins to use a computer vision system to detect, recognize, and track the target. The company has formalized a strategic alliance with the Pulum Unmanned Aerial Systems Regiment, which belongs to the 1st Corps of the National Guard of Ukraine, Azov, to accelerate the deployment of autonomous drones with artificial intelligence. Pulum already uses these drones and reports much higher attack mission success rates. The TFL-1 module can also be integrated into drones from other Ukrainian manufacturers, which would allow its use on the front lines to scale up quickly. By delegating terminal guidance to artificial intelligence, operators can focus on the tactical decisions of the operation instead of piloting the aircraft, improving accuracy, especially against moving targets. The TFL-1 module can be used against all types of targets, in the air, on land, and on water, allowing the mission to be successfully completed even under the most intense electronic interference that Ivan can generate. This is crazy. The engineers of the 425th Separate Assault Regiment Scalia converted a Novator armored vehicle into an unmanned remote-controlled ground system and published a demonstration of its operation on July 9th. The vehicle, manufactured by the company Ukrainian Armor, is driven by the driver to the area of operations, where the driver activates the remote control system and leaves the armored vehicle, which is then operated from a remote control station using a PlayStation steering wheel and pedals. Since it does not require a crew, the vehicle gains cargo capacity for ammunition, more fighters, or for evacuating wounded in areas exposed to drones and artillery. The Novator is a multi-purpose light armored vehicle based on a Ford chassis that reaches a maximum speed of 140 kilometers per hour and provides protection against small arms fire and artillery fragments while transporting up to 10 equipped soldiers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ukrainians soon add a remotely controlled weapons station on top, which would make sense. Well, these are just two examples of the innovation ecosystem that is being created within Ukraine, and that has begun to be called Defense Valley. If you want to see additional content about the war in Ukraine, I invite you to visit our 2 new channels, where we present information about the war in a different format. Don't forget to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.